I never imagined my marriage would unravel because of a passing joke. Yet, that's exactly what happened. One evening, at the dinner table, my wife laughed and said something she thought was harmless. "Maybe you should just try my sister if you're so unsatisfied." She smirked as her fork tapped the plate. To her, it was a casual quip. To me, it was a spark that ignited a fire I'd been holding back for years. We had been married for 8 years. In the beginning, everything felt perfect. She was lively, unpredictable, and I felt fortunate to have her by my side. But as time went on, she grew distant, cold. Moments of intimacy became rare. Conversations devolved into arguments. Laughter disappeared from our home. I tried to salvage what we had, date nights, small gifts, heartfelt talks, but nothing penetrated the walls she built around herself. She made it clear she didn't want me anymore, and she made sure I felt that every single day. Her joke, however, turned out to be the turning point. Her sister, Emily, was completely different. Warm, attentive, genuinely interested in people's lives. Whenever family gatherings occurred, she was the one who noticed when I was quiet, the one who asked about my day, who smiled in a way that felt sincere. I had never acted on my feelings for her out of respect, burying any attraction deep. But after that dinner, something shifted inside me. A week later, my wife went out with friends, leaving me at home. Emily came over to drop something off. Our conversation, usually casual, suddenly carried an unspoken tension. I laughed nervously as I said, "Your sister once told me I should try you instead." Emily froze, then blushed, hiding it with a laugh. That was the moment I realized the joke was no longer just words. It had become a doorway. Weeks passed, and our texts grew from playful check-ins to late-night confessions. We shared how lonely and unappreciated we felt, how exhausted we were from pretending everything was fine. It was like finding water in a desert I hadn't known I was dying in. The first time we crossed a line wasn't planned. At a family barbecue, lingering too close, hands brushing, nothing was said, but neither of us pulled away. Later, she confronted me quietly, saying, "This is wrong." I only replied, "So is what your sister's been doing to me for years." That one exchange broke the dam. From that night onward, we couldn't stop. Emily became my escape, my sanctuary from a home that felt like a cage. She listened, cared, and made me feel alive again in a way my wife had long refused. It wasn't just physical, it was emotional, a reminder that I was still someone worthy of love. But secrets always surface. My wife discovered the truth by accident, borrowing Emily's iPad to check emails. She stumbled upon countless messages, screenshots, late-night texts, plans to meet. She stormed into our bedroom at midnight, red-faced, hands trembling, shouting, "You actually did it? With my sister?" I didn't lie. I didn't flinch. I simply said, "You told me to." That answer struck deeper than the affair itself. Her careless joke had become her undoing, a seed she never intended to grow, now fully bloomed. The fallout was devastating. My wife severed all contact with Emily, blocked her completely, and refused any reconciliation. Family gatherings became tense battlegrounds. Her parents were caught in the crossfire between two daughters, and I became the villain in everyone's eyes, the man who destroyed a marriage and crossed a forbidden line. Yet, despite the chaos, I felt no regret. For the first time in years, I mattered. I was no longer invisible in my own home. Emily had returned parts of myself I thought were lost forever. My wife filed for divorce within months, attempting to paint me as the monster, but deep down, she knew her neglect had driven me to this point. Her words had given me the excuse I needed, and I took it. Bridges were burned. Scars were left. Families were fractured. But through it all, I became someone who refused to be a ghost in his own life. Sometimes, the sharpest revenge isn't carefully plotted. It's what happens when someone hands you the spark and dares you to ignite it. I did, and it changed everything.